Okay, just maybe we can do it somehow that you are seen, because in the previous report you are not seen. Jimmy, make it so that Padmanyana Prabhu is visible.
Just click this button.
Okay, good.
If you want, you can also put this on the center too. I think that probably shows up on the live stream.
Huh?
If you go here.
No, it's okay.
It's okay? Right. And then, okay, it's recording. Very good.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Govinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, dear devotees. Welcome to our last class. Oh, Joyraj also joined. So, today we're going to continue from text number 9. There are 3 texts remaining, 9, 10, and 11. So, verse number 9 describes what is the topmost holy place. So, different people have got different understanding. But according to Srila Rupa Goswami, what is the topmost holy place? So, Vaikuntha Janito Bara Madhupuri Tatrapi Rasotsavat Vrindaranyamudara Pani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kunda Mihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Pavanat Urjadasya Virajato Giritate Sevang Vivekinaka. The holy place known as Mathura. Vaikuntha Janito Bara Madhupuri. Where did Krishna take his birth? Mathura. He was born in the prison house of Kamsa. That is called Mathura. Janita means he was born where? In Mathura. Therefore, Mathura is superior spiritually and superior to Vaikuntha. Even though there are lot of opulence in Vaikuntha, but Krishna was born in Mathura, therefore it is superior to Vaikuntha. Okay? The transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Ras Lila pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by his divine hand, by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflowed with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill. That means after knowing the superiority of this place, Radha Kund, who will not desire to live there? Who will not desire to perform his bhajan residing on the bank of Radha Kund? That means everybody will desire. So the scripture declares that Sri Radha Kund is most dear to Krishna, as Srimati Radha Rani is dear to Krishna. So therefore, above all those places, spiritual places, Radha Kund is the superior place, supermost, we can say. Because Prabhupada says, it is overflowed with the ambrosial nectarian prema of Lord of Gokula Sri Krishna. Premamrita Pavanat. Anyway, these are very high level topics. We will not be able to discuss much, but we can just read what Prabhupada said. Prabhu, can you read the purport? Yeah. Yeah.
And it is the most exalted dream. The spiritual world is not the superior of the material. However, Mathura and the adjoining area, although appearing in the material world, are considered superior to the spiritual world because the Krishna is important. The interior forests of Vrindavan are considered superior of the presence of the forest, Savana, such as Salavan, Madhuvan, and Vakala. The aims for the basic superior to the forest, divine divinity, because Krishna lifted it like an umbrella, taking it with like hand, from the torrential rains and Patan being the also reflect over the hill, structure the clouds, this cover, and that also impact the surrounding, both the Lord and other, engaged in loving customs, engaged in loving customs. Radha Kund understood how both the because just now the love of Krishna. Once you would be separate or side from it, side of being for the eternal love of Krishna and Radha. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela chapter 18, it stated that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first visited the area of Brajbhumi, he could not at first find the location of Radha Kund. This means that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually searching for the exact location of Radha Kund. Finally, he found the holy spot, and there was a small bath in that small pond, and told us that the actual Radha Kund was situated. Later, the pond was excavated by Lord Chaitanya, headed first by the six Goswamis such as and Raghunatha. Presently, there is a large lake known as Radha Kund there. Sri Rupa Goswami has given much stress to Radha Kund because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. Who then would give up Radha Kund and try to decide elsewhere? No person with transcendental intelligence would. The importance of Radha Kund, however, cannot be replaced by other Vaishnava Sampradaya, nor can persons uninterested of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understand the spiritual importance and divine nature of Radha Kund. Thus, Radha Kund is mainly worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Krishna Chaitanya.
When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing in Puri, he has revealed these secrets to his devotees. Therefore, this Radha Kund is mainly worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though there are other Vaishnava Sampradayas, if you go to Radhakund today, you will mostly find that place is crowded by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are coming from Bengal, Odisha, and other places. Those who follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You go to other part of Vrindavan, you will find Vaishnavas from all Sampradayas residing. Okay. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing in Puri, it was towards the end of his manifest pastime. Now he has accomplished his mission in the material world, what he had come for. One day, he brought his confidential associates to the bank of the ocean. In Puri, there is Indian Ocean. And he was sitting there with his confidential associates. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glanced over the bluish water of the sea, he was immediately reminded about the Shyam Sundar feature of the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as you know, whenever he goes into trance, it's very difficult to bring him back. But as devotees could see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was changing, so they some or other tried their level best to bring Mahaprabhu back to the external consciousness. And then at that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started instructing the devotees. What were the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given to his confidential devotees at that time? And amongst those devotees, there was also Rupa Goswami in that assembly at that time. So Rupa Goswami, he captured all those points, then he compiled these verses. So this is how we understand the potency of Radha Kund in the life of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas who are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In next two verses, you will see more why we love Radha Kund so much. But here in this connection, it is said that Radha Kund is the place where Radha Krishna's ambrosial nectar, love of prema, nectarian prema, is overflowing. Therefore, that place has got a lot of importance for us in our sadhana practice. Nowadays, so many people, they go to Vrindavan. If you go near Govardhan, you'll find big company have purchased big plots, and there are a lot of housing complex developed. And people are just coming and staying there, thinking they want to have a place near Radha Kund to spend some time. But that is not the mood of the Goswamis, that you just construct a house and go and stay there, lead a happy life. No, coming to bank of Radha Kund, staying on the foot hill of Govardhan is basically for intensifying Krishna conscious practices. So there are some devotees that do decide with a desire to intensify their practices, because this place has got a lot of spiritual potency. Devotees who perform their sadhana there, it is explained that the intimate pastime of Sri Radha and Krishna are revealed to such devotees. Anyway, so this place has got a lot of importance. As here it is mentioned, Prabhupada is saying, after Dwapar Yuga, this place gradually was almost covered. Nobody knew where was Radha Kund until Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and discovered it. And even the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced in the field, rice field, in the midst of the rice field, he brought the devotees and he said, these are the two kunds, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. And after that, devotees were, taking bath there, but there is no proper kund as you see today. It so happened that there was a devotee of Lord Vishnu who went to Badrinath Dham on pilgrimage. And he wanted to do some service for Badrinath. He had gathered a lot of wealth from his earning and brought the wealth to offer a service to Badrinath. And when he arrived there, then Badrinath appeared to him in his dream and he instructed him. He said, you go back to Vrindavan. On the bank of Radha Kund, there is a devotee named Raghunath. He needs money to construct Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. He will excavate. He requires a lot of money. Then the devotee, he came back to Vrindavan and came to Radha Kund area. And he was searching for who is Raghunath. And finally, when he found out Raghunath, he revealed everything, what he has been instructed with. Then Raghunath Das Goswami said, well, I have no time for all these things. I have to do my bhajan. So you do all these things, okay, with your own money. So then this person, helped to excavate the kund and build the nice cart. Today you go, you can enjoy that place, right? Anyway, I meant to say Raghunath Das Goswami. So in that way, this Radha Kund was revealed to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then in the next verse, in text number 10, it is described who is Sri Krishna's dear most beloved. There are karmi, jnani, yogis, right? And also there are devotees. Among devotees, there are premika bhaktas, prema bhaktas. So who is the topmost or dearest to Krishna? Karmibhyo parito harehe priyataya vyaktim jajurgyaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti paramaha premai kanishthastataha tebhyastah pasupala pankajadrisastabhyopi saradhika prestha tadvadyam tadiya sarasi tang nasayet kahpriti. So who will not take shelter of Radha Kund? In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of fruity workers, karmibhyo, of all types of fruity workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. That means, karmibhyo harehe priyataya vyakti jajur jnanina. So, normally it is expected that one who performs pious activities, they are expected to be in the mood of goodness. Of course, there are some people who commit who take to some sastric activity, but they are in the mood of passion and ignorance. But normally, uh, those who perform pious activities, they remain in the mode of goodness. And then those who practice jnana, they supposed to be superior to this kind of people. And therefore here it is said, the advance in knowledge of the higher values of life, they are superior to the fruity workers. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, jnanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. Even those who are practitioners of jnana, some of them are impersonalists or impersonalists who desire to merge with the existence of Brahman. And there are some others who have understanding about the God, then they gradually take up devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, then those people who take to devotional service, not necessarily everybody has attained the prema. So, out of devotees who have taken shelter of devotional service, then some have attained prema. So they are superior. Pure love of Krishna is superior to him. Okay? The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. So that means those people who have attained love of Krishna, gopis are superior to them because of their intimacy with Krishna. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her kunda, like, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. As Radharani is dear to Krishna, so the kund of Radharani is also dear to Krishna. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body, surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings of prakrita bhava, render loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakalya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the bank of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. The entire day have been divided into 8 periods. That is called Astayam, Astakali. And during these 8 periods, there are different pastimes enacted by Krishna and with his devotees. And those devotees who live on the bank of Radha Kund, they try to meditate on such pastimes. It's a very high practice, but it cannot be imitated. It should be spontaneous. Anyway, so okay, can you read from the beginning? Jimmy.
At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in the Vishnu Purana. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Chaita Gyatata Para Avidya Kam Samgyanya Tritiya Shaktirishyate. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into 3 categories. namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. Material energy is considered to be the third class energy, Tritiya Shakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like godlike hogs, working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunctions are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9:21. Shine Punya Madhyarokam Shanti. After exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they gather to the earth, which is called Martyroka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted.
Continue.
This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmi, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly due to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yayata Maham Prabhadyante Tam Sadaya Bhajamyam.
Okay. So far we have been discussing that there are people who are interested in material enjoyment. They have been defined here two types. One is karmi, one is vikarmi. Vikarmi are those who don't follow Shastra without following scriptural injunctions. They try to enjoy, like what you see most of the people in the world are doing today. And there are others who also have desire to enjoy, but they enjoy in a bona fide manner. Bona fide manner in the sense that they follow the injunctions of Shastra and then they try to enjoy the material opulence. So they are actually defined as karmi here, not those who are vikarmis. They actually nunam pramatte krute vikarma jad indriya pritaya pranadi. Just to satisfy their senses, they are enjoying this world, like proposing like dogs and hogs. Okay. No sadhu manyata atmanaya. And they are not to be considered as saintly. But because they perform these abominable activities, then they go to hell actually. Anyway, so they are the most unfortunate people who take shelter of this footy activity. That means footy workers are most unfortunate people who are made after earning money and satisfying their senses. So superior to them are those who are jnanis. So that have been defined by Srila Prabhupada that out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses. I am reading from page number 86 from the beginning. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such a person is called jnani. How many people you find jnani in this country here in New York City who are inclined to understand the higher purpose of life? Looks like this city is very sophisticated. All good gentlemen are residing here, right? They are not to be called as gentlemen actually. These are not gentlemen. Gentlemen will know the value of life. They will lead a better life. Whole world is running under this false impression. Who is a real gentleman? One who knows computer, who knows how to eat meat and commit sinful activities, they are real gentlemen. And they are given high salary, highest salary. Those who are performed the worst of activity, they are given the highest salary. This is Kali Yuga. Huh? I said those who are committing sinful activities, they are given highest salary. They are valued more because they are contributing, they are adding to the sin, and people are appreciating them and giving them high salary. All this computer industry work, what they are actually doing, they are actually adding sin, adding to the sin of the world. That's it. They are encouraging people to commit more violent activities. That's Ugra karma actually. And they are given more respect. All the big buildings in this New York City, like the other day we went near Times Square, I was looking at all these big buildings. They should be utilized for propagating Krishna consciousness. How things could be nice, huh? Of course, it is, no, we cannot think like that. Even if we think, who cares, right? When this COVID was there, you must have seen, I was getting the message, in all these big buildings in the city, they are like, abandoned area. Nobody is going there. All these facilities are lying idle. Huh? Now again, after Corona is gone, they are back to square one. People are mad. So here Prabhupada is saying, better than these people are those who try to understand the higher value of life. They are called actually Jnanis. The Jnani knows that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. They are called Jnani. Because they have this information, that's why they lead a life based on Shastra. And then what happens? They gradually take to devotional service because of this understanding that if we commit this sinful activity, then we'll keep on transmigrating from one body to another. Therefore, we should not commit this sinful act. Then they take to the devotional service. When a jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary jnani. So first of all, an ordinary jnani, he may be cultivating knowledge from scripture, and his goal could be to merge with the existence of Brahman, with Brahman existence. But then when he takes up devotional service, means he understands, Krishna says, "Na Brahmano hi patishtham," I am the basis of impersonal Brahman. Then he is engaged in serving Krishna. That jnani is superior to the previous jnani. Okay. Such an advanced person is described in the present verse of Sri Purisamrita as Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parama. How a jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhuvanam Janmanamante Jnanavan Maprapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Swarla. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Then the next continues Jimmy from 87, second paragraph. After taking to devotional service under the regulatory principles.
After taking to devotional service under the regulated. So this comes after the verse Bhavanam Janmanam. The paragraph after that verse. Yeah.
After many births, after taking the devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of Godhead, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada and Sanaka and Sanatana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna.
Okay, what did you understand? Whatever you have heard, read so far. Can you tell me?
That devotees who develop spontaneous love, they're superior to the jnanis. And after that, the gopis out of all the prema bhaktas, the gopis are the best.
Why?
Because they are completely dependent on Krishna.
They have surrendered everything to Krishna. Huh?
They do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna.
That is the point. What you are being taught here in this temple. Okay, wait. What you are being taught here in this temple.
How to satisfy Krishna.
Right? Now you understand? We are teaching the highest principle. Those who are sincere, they take to this principle, they very quickly progress in Krishna consciousness. But because we are given the highest thing in a very simple way, sometimes we don't value that. We start finding, follow, he is not doing, why should I do? He is not doing, why should I do? Yes, they are enjoying, they are not progressing, and you want to be part of that. You do everything for the satisfaction, for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever you are supposed to do, you will get benefit. If you start comparing yourself with other people, then that means you don't want to progress. You want to be like those people. This is our conditioned nature. Gopis, they are not thinking, oh, these people are not serving Krishna for Krishna satisfaction. Why should we do? No, they are wholeheartedly surrendered. So from the day one, we are teaching this, but because we are rebellious entities and we always look forward to enjoying our senses, therefore we say, oh, he is not doing, why should I do? You don't realize that he is not doing, he is not progressing. If I do, I will progress. You understand? Continue. This is how you understand why gopis are topmost devotee.
Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan from Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense, they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba, Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted. And of all these gopis, Srimati or Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati and Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna. Radhakunda, Lake Sri Radhakunda, is the most exalted place. This is verified in the quotation from Bhagavad Gita 45. It's quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Prita Vishnu Sasya Priyam Tata Sattva Gopishu Saivaya Krishna Radhyanta. This is Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So her baby, Radha, is especially dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of the Upadeshamrita.
So even if we are not able to go and take a residence on the bank of Radha Kund, if you can understand this principle that we need to serve Krishna for his satisfaction without expecting anything in return for us. Then such a devotee is even better than those who are residing on the bank of Radhakund and they are always thinking of how to bring enjoyment to this body. Okay. Any question or comment?
That it is not physically residing, mentally residing.
To decide in mentally also, Prabhupada is spoken about Vrindavan. Actually, to decide even mentally, a place like Radhakund, you require a lot of high spiritual qualification. We may say we can decide mentally, it's not so easy because, yeah, those who are qualified, they can. But I would suggest in our moment, we should always be concerned about our own position in Krishna conscious practice and try to be a better devotee day by day. Then these things, what happens when we hear like, somebody should live, in mind, then we try to artificially create a situation in mind how we can live there without being qualified. Like this is you can take a material example, a boy in the material world who has not got a degree in computer science and he is always hallucinating in his mind how I can get a job, how I can get a job. Do you think he's ever going to get a job? On the other hand, a boy without thinking that how can I get a high pay by being a computer engineer, without thinking, he just directly going to the college, is spending that 3-4 years of study, and after that automatically job is guaranteed. So who is more intelligent? Second one, because he took the decision, he just went through the kind of study, he attended qualification. Now the company is calling him, not that he is thinking which company can I join. Similarly, Prabhupada has created these centers. We join, we directly go into action. That action in devotion service will give us the qualification. And when you are qualified, Krishna is going to give you an appointment letter. On the other hand, those who meditate on how you can still live there in mind, then without having qualification, he's like a boy without qualification searching for a job. Will not get his pay. Therefore, it is better to stay in the temple where Prabhupada has installed the deities and he has given us set of rules and regulations to follow, study Shastra. This is how the qualification can be earned. So previous verse we understood the glory of Radhakund, how our faith can be steady in that understanding. That is the description. The further glories of Radhakund have been discussed in text number 11 to make our faith steady in Sri Radhakund. Text number 11. कृष्णस्य प्रणय बसति प्रेयसी द्रौपदी राधा कुंडम चस्या मुनिभिरभितस्ताद्रिगेव व्यधायि यत्प्रेष्ठैरप्यलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजाम् तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि सरहस्नातुराविष्करोति. Of the many objects of favor, delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Brajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Just by taking bath once, pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Prabhuji, read Sarfat.
Why is Radhakund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who's among all the gopis, she is most beloved. Similarly, her lake Sri Radhakund is also described by great sages as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radhakund and for Srimati Radharani is sustained in all respects. Radhakund is very rarely attained, even by deities like peacefully engaged. Not to speak of ordinary devotees who are engaged only in the practice of Vaidika. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of gopis if he once takes bath in Radhakund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the bank of Radhakund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is an important item in the execution of devotion. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radhakund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotion service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and confidential serving maids under the Sri Radhakund. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies in the Deha, should live at Radhakund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotion service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radhakund to take their bath. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radhakund and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radhakund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving his body, he will return home back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as contemplated during his life on the banks of Radhakund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radhakund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotion. It is a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radha. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis.
So the highest kind of message given to us. Radha Kund is there to give us award as the highest perfection in our practice. Followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they look forward to that. As Bhakti Swami Thakur mentions, other devotees like Narad Muni and Sanok, they don't even get the opportunity. That's very rare of, the rarest of rare opportunity. We cannot buy a ticket to go to Vrindavan. Of course, people are buying ticket and going to Vrindavan, right? When it comes to going to Dham or even purchasing a land in Dham, no kind of material endeavor can bring us near Dham. One time when Gaurakrishna Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, right? When he was in Navadvip Dham, one devotee came and he wanted to purchase a piece of land in Navadvip Dham. And we were discussing with Babaji Maharaj. And Babaji Maharaj said, what? You have money? You can purchase a piece of land in Navadvip Dham? How much money you have got? Chintamani Prakara Sadma Kalpavriksa. This is Chintamani Dham. How much money you have to purchase the Chintamani? So this is the vision of the Acharyas. They see Dham like that. But in Kali Yuga, everybody is thinking by their wealth money, they can secure a plot of land and they can construct their house. That's a different thing. Then if you see how the Acharyas have seen the place, holy places, that means we are not actually residing in holy place. that consciousness needs to be awakened in the sadhaka. Rupa and Sanatana, if you take the example, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, even Raghunath Das Goswami, they came from very highly wealthy family. And they renounced everything, then they went to Radhakund. Now, people are bringing their material opulence to reside in the bank of Radhakund. There is a difference, no? Rupa Sanatan, they relinquished their material opulence, then just went with Kopin. Kopina Kanthasrito. Then only Gopi Bhavar Samrita Abdullah Kallala Matnum.
I used to don't like Radha. I used to play only Krishna. My mom was a Krishna devotee. She had a lot of problems, but history always repeated. But still I remember in 1999 December 8th, that time I used to work in the rapid pharmacy. One of the customers came. She had Jopomala and Tulshimala, everything. He was talking to somebody, but looking at me. Then, but she said, I'm rushed, I have to go finish it. But she said, then every time I see the any Vaishnava or something, I always alarm to my mother. I said, I want to talk to you. She said, okay, come on, I'm waiting. But she was rushing. Then first question she asked me, why don't you like Radhika? But I lied to her. I said, no, I like Radha. And she said, did you go to Vrindavan? Did you go to Mayapur? I said, no, I went to India, but I never been here. And she said, how many rounds you chant? And I told her 60 rounds. And she asked me, it is 1990, and I just came in here. 1 year, maybe. My daughter was very little, and she said that, I said 1600, and she said, no, 1728. And she asked me, do you go to the temple? This temple. I said, I go because after I came, I was searching for the temple. 1 week I started coming here. And she asked me, I will see you December 11th, was Sunday. I will see you in the temple. Then I said, okay, I will see. And I came in the evening. That time, we had to take it home because there were small people coming here, and I came with my daughter. She always likes to come in here. And I saw that day, Prabhu, I saw her. It's like a very poor woman. But when she came in the temple, she had Banaras style, green and silver, and all of those look very pretty. But I was waiting inside the temple, everybody doing the kirtan. I was doing the kirtan. And you know, that time I just came to the country, I was so shy. I said I will talk to her later. And because when she finished all of them, then she was keep looking at me like this. But when she finished talking with everybody, and she was walking around again. But I was running this temple. I came to this door, still, you know, she vanished right away. I did not see her still now. After that, my life totally changed. I love Radharani now more than Krishna. You know, then everything, I put the picture all over Radharani. Even though when I go out, I respect my Radharani, but still I go, please Radharani, take care of everything. One time I did not give her respect, even though I do the pranam every time I go out, go and come home. But I did already. But that day, Prabhu, I was going to college, I lost my lot of things, my scarf, my everything. I took the wrong train. And I told my daughter, I said, today I did not respect my mother, and twice that's why it happened. Now everything is totally changed now. But now I think she's very merciful because I think she reminded me, I don't want to make mistake. My mom did that. And she said, no, Radharani is very merciful.
Yeah, definitely. Radharani is very merciful. But those who are sincere souls.
I've never seen them anymore. This is the last time, you know, I see everything is changed. I love Radharani. No, Krishna, even though I cook, I said, Radharani, please, I cook. Even though I cook, please, Radharani. Even though program finished,
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
I chant again, I try to chant 108 times for Radharani.
Okay, that's good. All glories to your love for Radharani.
That's right. So this is my sorry, this is my personal experience. You know.
That's okay. We are discussing in general. Those who are new sadhakas, you have to be very careful because Radharani is the topmost devotee of Krishna. And to understand Radharani's mood, how she is serving Krishna, is very, very rare. That is the point. Any question or comment? Yes, Balakrishna Prabhu. We? If usually if you don't come into offense, you can bathe. Like people they go and jump, they like in other water bodies. They disrespect. No, we should go change your clothes and with respect for our senses, then slowly enter, take deep and come out. That is it.
What is our next? Looks like today is the last. What is the next class?
Next class will be on that. No, today is the last class, and then Tulsi Prabhu when we are doing the exam.